Wasabi, well, are you complaining again? Yeah, it's very common. People complain all the time. I mean, it's kind of addictive actually, if you think about it. You know, it's like a way to relieve stress and to shift responsibility, to shift the blame. For example, like many times people say, well, if I had only been a little bit luckier, if I had had a little bit more money, more this and that, and many times, I mean, there might be some truth to that, but many times you're not trying enough, or you're not willing to sacrifice enough, to really endure the pain necessary to get some things, for example, some stability, like, well, there's different ways. Some are more questionable than others, I mean, I've chosen a path that is, to some people, is questionable, but in other ways, it's not that questionable in the sense that they don't know what's behind. It's very windy out here. I'm gonna turn a little bit. So they don't realize that it's like playing an instrument, Like, I play drums, I play guitar. I'm not the greatest, but I can play, And a lot of people think, especially drums, I've been told by people, right, who want to try drums. They're like, "Oh, it looks easy." Yeah, go ahead and try it. See how easy it is, you know. So many times, like now that I'm living a pretty decent life, not perfect. I mean, a lot of things could be improved. I'm not saying that I've reached the top of what I can achieve or what I can do in life. For sure, that's not the case. But I can say that I have a certain stability that I didn't have before, and not all of it is due to my effort. I mean, there's an element of luck as well. I'm not gonna just sit here and brag and say that, oh, I've done it all by myself. Not really, but I have struggled enough, man. And going back to the analogy of instruments, when you first start, I remember when I first started playing guitar, man, I could barely play a bar chord. If you play music, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's hard and it's frustrating because it sounds like crap. You want to play an F major, for example, a bar chord, and it sounds like shit. You're like, oh, how come my friend plays it better than I do? Let me turn the other way now. Um, and then that's what it is, man. It's a matter of persevering, man. Persevering, and one day, just like they say, a broken clock gets it right at least twice a day, right? Well, the same thing here, man. If you keep, insisting, and you have a little bit of faith in yourself, and you stop complaining, you might just get what you want. Like the Rolling Stones song, you remember? You can't always get what you want, but if you try some time, you might just get what you need. And it's true, you know? Like, I mean, you can't complain. Like, I'm guilty of this too. Like, for many years, I was angry and I complained a lot, especially angry, because when you complain when you're angry, but anger, I mean, if you don't channel this anger properly, you're only going to hurt yourself, really, if you think about it. And I did a lot of that. I had some really bad habits, like maybe drinking too much or things like that, and it's fun. I don't fully regret it because it's fun. It's really fun, but it takes a toll on you, man. And then you find out that it's a bit of a crutch, so at some point you gotta put on your big boy pants, man, and just face the music, man, and not be so dependent on outside help, because sometimes what you'll do is you'll rely too much, over rely on your family and friends, especially family if you're Hispanic. they'll be willing to help you. You know, I mean, but if you abuse that help, man, you might never learn to be self-reliant and to face the music on your own. Like what I did, for example, I moved to Spain. You know, it was not easy, man. It was hard. I still remember, and I can brag about it now because it's over, and now I feel much better. But at the time, man, at the time it was hell. It was hell. Like that. It's something that I mean, you might think I'm exaggerating, but it is tough, and you only know it when you face it, man. You can, like, as they say in Spanish, bulls look smaller from afar. Once you get close to that damn bull, man, then you know what's up, So and also at the same time, don't underestimate your strength, man, because that's one thing I learned. You you're stronger than you think, and you find a way to do things, you because you have to, you know. So sometimes putting yourself in a situation where you can't go back, like my case, I couldn't go back to my previous life. Let me turn around now. That that alone will reveal certain talents that you didn't know you had, you know. Like my case, for example, I realized that I can bullshit. I'm very good at bullshitting, and this is not an example of bullshitting, by the way. But I've gotten very good at bullshitting and very good at blending in. I've gotten very good at blending in and doing what I have to do to get what I need, and maybe reading people, reading the room, as they say. I think I've got quite good at that. I would say that a lot of practice. I have failed a lot. I have failed miserably, but now I can say I have much more confidence than I used to have. And I'll leave you with that, man. Confidence as a result of failing a lot and making a fool of yourself, I think is very important. And so that's why, if you're going to complain, well, go ahead and complain, man, until it blows up in your face. I had a bad habit of complaining, man, but I really try every time I catch myself complaining nowadays. I remind myself, don't do it, man. Just do something about it, okay? No, you're not gonna fix anything by complaining. Like, yeah, it feels good. It feels good to complain, but it ain't gonna cut it long term, So just take it like a man, man. Take it like a man. And if you're a woman, take it like a woman. Whatever that means, All right, man. I'm gonna go back and do some cooking because, you know, I gotta eat, man. So God bless you, and God bless America, and God bless the world. Peace out.